Hey there, athletes. Coach John Ferry here from Team Wilpers. Excited as always to welcome you to our athlete briefing. This is athlete briefing number 5 for our Fall Run Challenge 2024. Hope everyone is really enjoying the slight reduction in intensity this week, a little bit lower volume as we're technically in our unload week here, even though as we talked about last time, we're still keeping a little bit of intensity, but even still, we're looking to reduce volume, we're looking to reduce our overall training stress across the scope of this week here. So hoping that you're enjoying it. We, like to take a little bit of the mental burden off some of these structured workouts. Sometimes that does mount over the course of time, but we're also trying to allow your body to kind of recover, absorb the training of the past few weeks, and get ready for the upcoming weeks to follow here. A little bit of housekeeping as always. As we come into the back end of this challenge, we want to make sure you're going in, checking those boxes, claiming to do the workout, and chasing that 100% completion percentage. It remains still the absolute best way to put yourself in a position to be successful. As we're coming into the upcoming couple weeks, we have a few events here at Team Wilpers, mostly surrounding the New York City Marathon, coming up not this weekend, but the following weekend. So if you're in the general tri-state area or want to come in and hang out with us for a morning, Friday, November 1st at 9 o'clock a.m. It's going to be the Team Wilpers Shakeout Run, getting kind of primed and ready. Most people's final run in advance of New York City Marathon. And then if you're not running New York City Marathon, but want to come and celebrate and participate and cheer on those who do, our cheer station will be on the Upper East Side at 5th Avenue, right in between 109th and 110th Street, right across from the corner of Central Park. So we're going to cheer people on as they start to head up that probably toughest climb of the race, right there at 5th Avenue. Couple updates in terms of our challenge infrastructure. First and foremost, our holiday challenge. I think one of my favorite and most important challenges of the year is coming up here very soon. As always, I'm always very determined, despite the fact that it's always told to me it's a bad idea, that it runs from the week of Thanksgiving through New Year. So very intentionally, they are set on the holidays where people have a tendency to let their fitness fade off. So it's a great opportunity to stay accountable, have some fun, and keep the momentum going during a tricky time of year. So a good opportunity, as I always say, to bring new people in, bring friends, bring family members, bring coworkers that might need a little momentum heading into the top of the year. We're not going to wait for New Year's resolutions. We're going to kickstart it here at the Holiday Challenge. In addition, there's going to be a little 2-week bridge for those people who are just dying for structure. That's going to tie this fall challenge into the holiday challenge. That should be available for sign up now on the portal, but it will not kickstart until obviously the end here of this fall challenge. So keep an eye out both for that 2-week bridge program and the holiday challenge coming here very soon. Let's talk about our week 5 workout. So we're starting the week with an interval run. So this is a mixed pace interval workout, combination of VO2 max intervals, as well as that kind of half marathon pace, so almost threshold, just like the very tip top end of kind of zone 3 going into zone 4, that half marathon pace. So starting with the hard intervals, moving into the middle length half marathon pace intervals, and finishing again with a couple short hard intervals to round this workout out. So there's a reason we want to start with the fast intervals, and it's one, they require a lot of muscular engagement. They really require additionally for you to kind of open up your stride so you've got kind of the full extension, your full range of motion there. And then they're going to recruit the muscles that we want for general running. So kind of the same thing, that muscular engagement. They're really going to fire things up. So the goal is that when we go into those longer kind of steady state intervals there, you're actually significantly more prepared to take on that challenge, to handle that load. And similarly, that the pace that might feel difficult if you're to jump right into it at the first interval of a workout actually feels a lot more comfortable. You might even find it feels a little bit easy after running that kind of hard 1-minute interval. Coming back to finish at our fastest paces, because one, we always want to practice finishing a workout hard, finishing strong, both physically and for confidence is a great way to round out the workout. So it's a great way to help prepare for finishing out a race well, finishing out your 20-minute distance test with a bang, if you will, or just finishing other hard workouts feeling good. So that's key run number 1. Our key run number 2 is going to be a progression run. The main goal of this, very simply, is to finish faster than you began. So This particular workout actually kind of spans our aerobic paces. So we've done progression runs before. They go much faster. They go to a little bit of threshold, maybe even above threshold. This particular one is kind of a low-key progression run. So really a zone 2, zone 3 workout here. And we're going to start all the way at the lowest end of our easy pace. And this is by design. So a lot of people go straight to the high end of that easy pace, and that's where they begin every easy pace run, every warm up, etc. But really, what I would certainly encourage a lot of people to do, especially in their warm ups, their easy pace run, ease into it, find the kind of different comfort levels between the lower end and higher end of your easy pace. So starting at the lower end, moving up into the higher end here, a really nice way to feel both ends of that range. Certainly going to step up into our kind of marathon pace and half marathon progression. So this is similarly where we're looking at finding the top and bottom of a kind of a zone 2 aerobic workout. This is going to be kind of the top and bottom of your zone 3, your tempo zone, or kind of this endurance race zone, if you will. So whatever you want to call it there. So it's kind of the tops and bottoms of these energy zones. There's a lot of control involved and also a lot of feel, because these are races that race paces that you translate a lot to outdoor races usually. So an excellent opportunity to get really dialed in on your pacing here. As I mentioned, very helpful for warm-ups and cool-downs and learning how to use and manipulate your easy pace ranges. Incredibly helpful for starting races, being able to find and settle into different sides of your half marathon and marathon pace ranges. And the biggest benefit is going to come to those athletes running this workout outside, as it's a whole lot more complicated to find and hold and manipulate, make small manipulations of your paces outdoors than inside, obviously, where everything's quite dialed in for you. So I would give a strong recommend to take this one outside and be super dialed in with those pace targets. I'm going to jump into a quick question that came up from the group this week. So question was, I'm about to start marathon training. I plan on doing long runs on the weekend, but I know that the shorter runs can get pretty long. I'm wondering if it is okay to break up the run throughout the day. For example, if I have 10 miles on a weekday, can I do 2 5-mile runs, or does everything need to be done in one shot? So it's a great question. And ultimately, it is a problem. So I would say 99% of the athletes I work with, their profession is not running. So it's important. They have to go to work, they have to take care of their families. Running is the thing that comes on the side of that. So keeping that in mind, if you fall into that bucket, where most of us do, you have to be able to kind of prioritize things and figure out how to best fit it into your schedule. So a 10-mile workout, let's say on a weekday, for a 6-minute miler is a 60-minute workout. That's a very appropriate 60-minute session on a weekday. For a 10-minute miler, that is an hour and 40 minutes of running. That's an incredibly long workout to do on a Tuesday. So when I'm working with one-on-one athletes in particular, it is incredibly, incredibly rare that I'm asking most people to do anything more than about 75-minute tops on a workday for them. It's just very rare. It's hard to fit in, especially when you start to think about the warm-ups, the cool-downs, the pre-run activation, the stretches, things that we want as part of the exercise. Very, very challenging. So on a physiological perspective, now to kind of piggyback onto that, it is not the same thing to do 2 5-mile runs as 1 10-mile run. The issue is that you start to get the cardiovascular benefit of that workout after about 20 to 30 minutes of elevated heart rate time. So before you start getting cardiovascular benefit, your heart rate has to be elevated for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then you start getting the benefit. So let's say using a 90-minute workout, after 20 minutes, you're getting about 70 minutes of cardiovascular benefit. If we take that and do 2 45s, it's still going to take that same 20 minutes on each workout. So you're only getting 25 and 25 on top of it. It's only 50 minutes of cardiovascular benefit as opposed to the 70 that you would have gotten otherwise. So there's not no benefit. It's not a bad thing to do, but in terms of the fatigue and the benefit per footfall, you'd be significantly better off to do a singular workout that's longer than 2 broken up. If you don't have the time, which is very reasonable, if you kind of think about it in that same way of you got 70 minutes of benefit from one and ultimately about 50-55 in the other one. You could shorten the total workout, the 10, by about 20 minutes. Only have to do a singular workout of the day and get the same cardiovascular benefit that you ended up getting from running 5 miles and 5 miles. So in essence, talking about a 10-minute miler for easy math, in essence, that's going from a 100-minute workout to an 80-minute workout to get the exact same benefit as that you would have gotten from splitting it up into 2-5. So that's certainly what I would recommend that you do there, because it can become very daunting to constantly be looking at two-a-days. It's tough to schedule. It's really tough physically. When you're running in the evening, it makes it very hard to turn around and be ready again to go in the morning. So that singular session that's maybe a little bit shorter is how I would go about that, as opposed to looking into two-a-day sessions in order to get that total volume. So hopefully that helps, and if not, certainly drop another question on the Facebook page and we'll make sure we get to it there, because I think that's an issue that affects a lot of people. Otherwise, that'll be all here for week 5. So I hope you have an incredible finish here to week 4. Come back strong in week 5, and I can't wait to see you back here next week. Have a great night.